Hand-drawn birds are flying in exclusively for Stencil Club members this February. Gwen Lafleur designed the Feathered Tribe set. Take it away, Gwen.
Hi everybody, this is Gwen Lafleur and I am excited to be back this month as the Stencil Club designer for February, and I am going to introduce to you this month's stencil collection. It is called the Feathered Tribe, and you will see why in just a second. I am going to start by sharing the stencils with you, and these are mostly inspired by my love of birds. This is kind of an inherited thing. It came from my mother, my grandmother. My grandparents on my mother's sides were naturalists, and so my grandpa was a conservationist. They always had birds in the yard and bird feeders, and they knew all of them, and that's kind of been passed down to me. And so I've combined that love of birds with my love of travel and different tribal elements and patterns, and I have created this month's collection. So starting with the 9 by 12, here you can see, I'm going to move it in so you can get a little close-up of the different ones. You can see this has already gotten a little bit of use. This top one is inspired just by a songbird, and then this little guy is inspired by one of the Australian cuckoos. And then this bottom one is, gotta get my direction right, is kind of inspired by Native American tribal art. And so there's quite a little bit of a mix here, and then I tied them together with the branch and flowers. You can mask them off, you can just create an entire scene all in one. And I will show you what they look like stenciled. It may be a little bit easier for you to see. And there is the whole design stenciled, and then you can see the different elements, what that looks like. So that is the 9 by 12, and then the 6 by 6, if it's the Feathered Tribe, there have to be feathers. And so the 6 by 6 has some different feather designs on there that you can use all together. You can repeat it, you can turn them sideways and make a border, you can do just one at a time. But I am really, really loving these feathers. And then you can see what those look like stenciled, just plain. And then the 4 by 4, I wanted to take, and just dropped it, I wanted to take the idea of the patterns and give you something that could be used as a background, some repeating elements, or that you could use to add additional patterns that would coordinate with the ones that are already in the birds and the feathers. And so there's a little, show you that. And as you'll see in the samples, I have used bits and pieces of this, or you can use the entire thing and use just the design as it is, or you can repeat it and make a background design. And you can see what that looks like stenciled right there. There's some really fun elements in there, and my plus signs that I love, and got some arrows and some other fun things in there. So that is the stencils and then what they look like, but I thought it would also be fun to show you a little bit of the back story of these. So you can see some of my original drawings that these came from. I do hand draw all of my designs. So those are the feathers, and then you can see the birds here, 2 of them anyway. And there were other sketches that became stencils, but I just thought it would be fun to show you where they come from and how they start. So I do start with some kind of a drawing for all of my designs, stencil stamps, whatever. And so I had mentioned that little 4 by 4, that you could use it on its own. I created just a repeating background just so you could get a sense of what it looks like. And I really it's got kind of a tribal feel, kind of an eclectic international feel, but not too obviously tribal. And like I said, you can take the bits and pieces out of it and use those and turn it, and you can see it that way too. And I really liked the grid, so you could use the grid on its own or any of the 4 elements. So I thought that was a lot of fun. And then I will have individual pictures of these, but I made a set of 6 little 3-inch by 3-inch collage cards, just some simple collages. And I used all 3 stencils to create these, so I'll move it in so you can see them a little bit at a time. Oop. So I've used the birds and the feathers and some of the background elements, the patterns from the 4 by 4, with just some collage. And then I've painted, or in some of them I've used some colored pencil on them. And so it just give you a little idea of some different ways that you could use these. These bottom ones were both colored pencil instead of the gouache I used on the others. But I had a lot of fun making some little collages with these. I really loved just using the heads or of the birds or parts of the feathers and making smaller pieces out of them to show it doesn't have to be some great big piece that uses that entire 9x12 all together. You can really mix it up and use bits and pieces, which I think just makes it so much more fun. And then lastly, I am going to show you the exclusive project that comes with this month's set. The video that I have made for you shows you start to finish how to make kind of a little bit of collage, but using some vintage pieces, and I'm actually providing a download for you, a printable that has some antique postcards and some vintage public domain stamps, so that if you don't have them and you want to get this look, you can print them. So that comes with this as well. And there's a PDF, and then there's the video. And so this is the sample, and the PDF that I'm putting together, the step-by-step that goes with it, will be with photos making this one so that you can see this. And then in the actual class video, this is the piece that we are making. And so I'm going to show you the technique for creating these really kind of detailed painted images, but it's not really super hard. And I'm going to show you how to do that and how I put this whole thing together, and we will be able to do that together as a part of the video for this month's set. So I am super, super excited about this month's stencils. I really love them. I've been loving working with them. And I hope that you are excited too, both for the stencils and the class and all of the different ideas. I hope that you are going to really enjoy playing with these, and I cannot wait to see what you do with them and all of the projects that come out of them, and I'm looking forward to being inspired by all of your work as well. So we will see you in Stencil Club.
Thanks so much for watching. Remember, Stencil Club stencil sets ship on the 15th of the month, and members will be able to access the designer's exclusive project video and PDF. Need stencils? Just click the link below. Happy stenciling!